Once upon a time, on a small farm nestled between rolling hills and green pastures, a single duckling hatched from a lonely egg. She had no siblings, no parents, no one to guide or comfort her. As the days passed, her loneliness hardened into bitterness. Deep down, she longed not for love, but for power and control. One day, the duckling discovered a brood of hawk chicks whose mother had been blown far away on a stormy wind. Sensing an opportunity, the duckling took the chicks under her wing. She fed them scraps and whispered lies into their ears, teaching them that the other farm animals were their enemies. Innocent and trusting, the chicks followed her lead. Soon, the lonely duckling had built herself a fearsome little army. With her newfound power, she began to terrorize the farm. She stole food, hoarded resources, and forced the other animals to labor for her gain. Her hunger for control grew boundless, and the farm fell into fear and despair. Far away, the mother hawk struggled in a strange land. She faced hunger, danger, and the sting of rejection from creatures who did not welcome her. Her heart ached for her chicks, and every night she cried out to the winds, longing to be reunited with them. Back on the farm, Thistle the rabbit, whose own child had been captured by the duckling, could no longer bear the suffering. She rallied a small band of brave animals: a wise old goat, a sharp-eyed cock, a cunning rat, and a steadfast donkey. Together, they set out on a perilous journey to find the lost hawk. Through storms, mountains, and strange lands where they struggled even to understand the language, the search party pressed on with courage and determination. At last they found the hawk. Overcome with joy, she spread her mighty wings and vowed to return with them to the farm. With her chicks at her side and her new allies beside her, she promised to end the duckling's reign of fear. When they arrived, the duckling tried one last trick. She called to the hawk chicks, urging them to remember her care and loyalty. But by then, the chicks had seen the truth. They turned their backs on her lies. Together, the farm animals rose up, and the duckling was finally captured. The community gathered to decide her fate. Many were angry, but the wise ones saw the pain behind her cruelty. They realized she had been shaped by neglect and loneliness. Instead of punishment, they offered her kindness. They gave her gifts and walked her gently to the edge of the farm, sending her away with compassion instead of hatred. As the duckling wandered alone, she began to reflect. For the first time, she admitted that her thirst for power had grown from her emptiness inside. She remembered the harm she caused, the lives she had broken, and she wept. It was then that a wise old owl appeared. With patience and gentle words, the owl taught her about empathy, kindness, and the strength of community. The duckling listened. She learned, and she changed. Humbled, she returned to the farm not as a tyrant, but as a servant. She asked for forgiveness and offered her help. Seeing her sincerity, the animals forgave her. Slowly, she rebuilt their trust. In time, the duckling became an advocate for the lonely and the neglected. She worked side by side with the hawk and Thistle to create spaces of care and programs of kindness, making sure no creature on the farm would ever feel forgotten again. Moral of the story: this tale reminds us that loneliness can twist into bitterness, but compassion has the power to heal. It teaches that empathy and community make us stronger, and that everyone, no matter how flawed, deserves a second chance to change and do good.